Well, shit, guys, I don't know what to say. This anime is quickly becoming one of the best of the season. It started off feeling a little bit cliche and silly, and then in the second episode it got really hyped up compared to the first, and it was awesome. And then in this third episode, it just feels like an amazing story is being worked over here. So seriously, Aoharu kikanjuu may be one of the best anime this season. It may even beat one of my top 3 by the end of the season. Like now it's easily in my top 5. I'm loving the hell out of this. The characters are interesting. The storyline is actually pretty damn good. Like they actually think about the characters' interactions and shit. And my god, the action scenes are insane. Really loving them. One thing I'm not loving, which I mentioned during episode 2 and they've repeated in this episode. For some reason when they have a great big actiony bit, instead of doing it in their normal hyper... Like they do a big high contrast kind of scene when Tachibana gets really hyped up and does something cool. But for some reason when it's a big actiony scene, like a big impactful actiony moment, they make everything super red and I really don't like it. It doesn't look cool. Like in this episode, that punch and then that turnaround should have been really awesome. But instead, I could barely see the fact that the other guy even caught the fist. Like, I could tell what went on, but it just didn't look as cool as it would have if they just made it more visible. Maybe I'm just bad with the colour red, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section about it. Still, this episode was incredible. We started off, like it felt, again, this one feels like it was divided in 2 halves. I'm not sure if it was 2 separate halves in the manga, or maybe they just didn't separate it very well throughout the storyline. Like it felt like the first half was all Tachibana getting back into survival games, and then the second half was her going to the gun store. And really, the gun store doesn't feel like it's over yet either. So it's starting to feel like they're converting maybe a chapter and a half per episode, or I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that's just how the manga is laid out too. Maybe they like to end on a big cliffhanger like this. Still, it was great. The first half of the episode was really good character development for Tachibana. Like, we had to see her realizing that she loves the hell out of survival games. Because we knew she did anyway. She was enjoying them so much. And in this episode, when she had to go back to normal life and she was suddenly realizing how boring it was, that was cool. I don't think they quite gave us enough of that, but I can see why they would skip over it a bit, because it was one of the more dull moments of the anime so far. Because this anime is surprisingly action-filled. I'm really shocked at how good this anime has been so far, seriously. But yeah, at the beginning of this one, it felt kind of slow until Yukimura showed up. And that was like pretty much straight away anyway. That scene where he showed up with the Erahon, oh my god, it was amazing. Tachibana properly did a mad, like upside down drop kick into his face. Really intense shit, I love the hell out of it. And I love that that's Yukimura's kind of character. He's just so funny. And then they took it even further when the policeman showed up and he stole his gun. Like, that shit ain't cool. Yukimura should have been arrested and, like, never getting out of jail for that shit. He stole a police officer's gun and tried to hand it to Tachibana. And to be fair, it got his point across, and it looked super cool and was awesome. And then it was super funny as well when the police officer, like, smacked him in the head. But still, if you actually did that, yeah, you'd be dead. Your life would be just over. You'd be in jail. And the police officer sounded really cool as well. Like, he did proper gangster kind of voice and smacked him in the head and was like, nah, my gun. I'm gonna fuck you up, son. He actually probably did say something similar to that. Like, I don't have the exact translations, but it sounded like gangster talk. Anyway, yeah. And then in the next bit when she broke into the house, it was so funny. Like, her trying on the equipment was kind of boring, but then when Yukimura found her again, and she was rolling around on the ground squealing like a little bitch. That little blush she did when she first got caught as well was so hilarious. Seriously, it's the interactions between the characters in the show that make it amazing. And Yukimura is such a cool character. He's so funny when he needs to be. He's ridiculously hot when he needs to be. And he's cute and adorable as a button most of the time as well. That moment when he was all like, "Okaeri," it was so adorable. And you didn't even need Masamune to join in it. That's the funny thing. Masamune was like the main guy in this until Yukimura showed up, like at the end of episode 1. Suddenly everyone was like, who the hell is that? And then we met him and he was like completely different from what we expected, but in such a cool way. Oh my god, that's awesome. And then the second half of this episode, as I said, the action got right back in there. And we started to find out little bits about our characters' pasts. Because it seems like Yukimura and Masamune have met these people that work at a pediatrician's office before. Like there's one who looks really scary but seems really gentle and cute as a button. And then there's another who looks like a pretty boy and everybody loves, and it turns out that he's an evil, sadistic son of a bitch. And I like that. Again, it's one of those things where it makes it look like it's going to be one way and then it's completely different. Like they did that to us with Tachibana, where she looks like a dude but she is actually a girl. They did that to us with this whole plot line where they start off by showing you the typical makings for a love triangle. And then they flip it on its head by basically saying, nah, fuck it, we ain't going down that route anyway. There may be 2 guys and a girl in this, but none of them are interested in each other yet. They're all just, well, right now they just don't know that they should be interested in each other because none of them know that Tachibana is a chick. Except for possibly our main bad guy, Midori. I only remember his name, I have to say, because it means green in Japanese, and that makes it easy. But yeah, that made his name really easy to remember. Midori is the sadistic son of a bitch, and he's a really cool character. I'm really interested to see what the hell his past is. Because, I mean, he shows up and he's helping Tachibana, like being so sweet as he normally does to other people. And then when Yukimura shows up, oh my god. The intensity of that scene. I have no idea what Midori did to Masamune and Yukimura in the past. But god damn, it must have been something bad. Yukimura literally said, I'm going to kill you. And my god, Midori just destroyed him. And he's talking about Masamune. He's like, oh, how's my Masamune? Like he's really controlling over him and clearly sees him as like a plaything. Like a toy that he's been playing with for a while. I wouldn't be surprised if Midori turned out to be Masamune's older brother. But I guess we'll have to wait to find out if that's the case. I'm just quite used to this. I'm just quite used at this point to older brothers and older siblings being complete and utter dicks in the anime world. So, I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to exactly what kind of past these people all had together. Because goddamn, it must be seriously deep for all this shit to be going down. And I think it has something to do with the third member that they lost from their little Toy Gun Gun group. They really need to change that name. But yeah, the Toy Gun Gun group used to be a 3-member team and then they've lost one. And I'm pretty sure it was a girl, and I think, like, this is my theory, that it may have been Masamune's girlfriend. Like, there's been a few hints dropped here and there. Yukimura has said, when talking about Masamune, if only he was only interested in money. As if there's something he's more obsessed with, and I think it is a girl that he lost. And I think it was probably Midori who made him lose the girl in one way or another. And I'm not sure how exactly it happened, but I'm sure Masamune thinks that if he becomes the #1 in Japan, he's going to either win her back or like just get revenge on Midori. Midori must have done something that really fucked up Masamune's girl. Whether he literally physically hurt her, or he did something that drove a wedge between Masamune and Midori. Or even if it turns out Masamune's chick was just a bitch and left him because he didn't win, and that's why he's so obsessed with becoming #1, who knows? But I really want to find out. Like, this series has gotten me really interested in everything. And I'm really shocked by that. I'm probably going to keep saying this like right up to episode 6, so just get used to me saying that. I really did not think this one was going to be amazing. I thought it was going to be a little bit of dumb fun every now and then, thrown in with a bunch of cliche shoujo antics. I'm really happily surprised with what we're actually getting in the show. Strong comedy, amazing action, and actually deep plots and interesting characters. This is a proper hidden gem this season, so I just want everyone who's actually watching this to give yourselves a round of applause for watching this. It's amazing, right? Oh, so thanks for listening, guys. I can't wait to see what happens next week when Tachibana gets to try out her gun and we see what happens with Midori and Yukimura. Like if you enjoyed this review, subscribe if you haven't to see more, and I will see you guys next time.